Are you thinking about starting a dropshipping store? Well, the idea of running an online business without holding any inventory or dealing with shipping seems like a dream come true. But before you dive headfirst into the world of dropshipping, there are some harsh truths that you need to know. The dropshipping industry is plagued with outright lies that lure unsuspecting entrepreneurs into the trap of false promises and unrealistic expectations. So in this video, we're going to expose the 5 biggest lies about dropshipping that could cost you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. By the way, I'm not necessarily trying to talk you out of dropshipping, but I want to arm you with the truth so that you can approach this business model with realistic expectations and a solid strategy. Now, the first outright lie about dropshipping is that it's a fully automated business. Now, while it's true that you don't have to worry about inventory and fulfillment, you do have to worry about perhaps the number one headache that most e-commerce entrepreneurs face, which is customer service. Compared to a normal online store, doing customer service for a dropship store is infinitely worse because you have no control. Let's say your dropship supplier ships out a package late or ships the wrong item to the customer. Well, guess what? It is technically your fault. And the worst part is that you have to act as the go-between between your supplier and your customer. It is your responsibility to report the error to your supplier, resolve the issue, and keep your customer happy, all while having no control over the matter. And if you have a supplier who consistently ships out orders late, makes mistakes, or ships out defective merchandise, it's going to be a huge headache for you. Also, many dropship suppliers do not offer EDI, which stands for Electronic Data Interchange. EDI is a system that allows the supplier to convey real-time inventory information to your e-commerce platform and pass along order information. Now, if your dropship supplier doesn't support EDI, you're going to have to manually email your orders to the supplier at the end of every business day. And believe it or not, many dropshipping stores still operate this way. In fact, this is exactly how my friend Andrew Udarian used to run his 7-figure e-commerce store selling CB radios and equipment. Not every dropshipping supplier is fully automated. Then there's the issue of returns. Even though dropshippers take care of product fulfillment, you are responsible for processing returns and providing customer service for defective merchandise. And here's how a typical return is handled for dropship merchandise. The customer contacts you for a refund. You then ask your supplier for an RMA, or a return authorization number. Your customer then needs to send the product in its original packaging back to your supplier with the RMA number clearly marked. The supplier then refunds the wholesale cost back to your account once the package is received, and then you refund your customer after you've been refunded by your supplier. There's a lot of steps here. Some dropship suppliers will charge you a restocking fee, which you must pay or pass on to your customer. Now, the next outright lie about dropshipping is that the profit margins are high. Well, the truth is that dropshipping carries the lowest margins out of all the e-commerce business models. Remember, as a dropshipper, you're just a middleman, selling the exact same merchandise as hundreds of other retailers. And whenever there are many merchants selling the exact same thing, it's always a race to the bottom in terms of price. Plus, you have to pay a premium for the convenience of not holding inventory. In a typical dropshipping arrangement, you will not get the same pricing for your goods as, say, someone who decides to buy inventory from the same supplier. Also, you usually have to pay a dropshipping fee on a per order basis as well. Now, the profit margins become exponentially worse if you decide to use multiple dropship suppliers in your store. For example, let's say you sell 3 different products that are sourced from 3 different dropship suppliers. If a customer buys all 3 products in a single order, here's how the order is fulfilled. Your shopping cart will route product 1 to dropshipper 1, product 2 to dropshipper 2, and product 3 to dropshipper 3. Your customer will receive 3 separate packages in the mail. And because 3 packages are shipped, you must pay the cost of shipping for 3 packages in the mail. And here's the kicker. You can't really charge the customer 3 extra shipping costs because from their perspective, they are buying all 3 items from your store. And when all is said and done, your margins will end up being around 10 to 30% gross. And at those margins, you can't really afford to advertise online. It's up to you to create your own traffic to your online store organically through SEO or social media. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you sign up for my free 6-day e-commerce mini course below. I go over all the different e-commerce business models, and you'll learn the right way to get started selling online. Another outright lie in regards to dropshipping is that it's easy. Sure, it's easy to start a dropship online store. And yes, you can literally start a dropshipping business for less than $3. The hard part isn't getting started. The hard part isn't finding dropshipping suppliers either. The hard part is actually making sales. There are many factors that make it hard to generate sales for a dropshipping store. The first factor is that your prices are going to be higher than everyone else's. Remember, you are paying a premium for the privilege of not carrying inventory or handling order fulfillment. Let's say you sell a widget that retails for $100. As a dropshipper, your price will likely be around $70. However, someone who decides to carry inventory for that same product will only have to pay $50. As a result, a traditional online store that carries inventory will have a pricing advantage against you. Whereas your lowest break-even price is $70, your competition can lower prices even further and still make a profit. As a dropshipper, you're also going to be going up against private label sellers as well. The cost for a private label seller for a similar product will only be around $33, which puts even further pricing pressure on your products. And when all is said and done, you will not be able to charge the lowest price for your products, and this is going to negatively affect your sales. And finally, at only 10 to 30% gross margins, you will not be able to advertise profitably. As a result, your only option for traffic is going to be social media and search engine optimization. Which leads me to the next outright lie about dropshipping. Making money with dropshipping is not quick. In fact, it's the opposite of quick. It takes time to build up an audience and actually make sales. Now, I have many students in my class who make money dropshipping, but for many of them, it took 1.5 years or more to build up enough traffic to make 6 figures per year. If you want to get traffic from Google and the search engines, you have to produce content or blog. If you want to get traffic from social media, you pretty much have to post every day. No matter how you frame it, traffic generation is going to be a slog. Now, the fifth and final lie about dropshipping is that it's a business model that can last the test of time. Now, whenever I think about a business that I want to start, I spend a lot of time thinking about the value that it can add to my customer's life. Why should someone buy from my store over someone else's? Why does my business even exist? Think about dropshipping for a moment. What value does a dropshipping store provide? Don't think too hard because the answer is not much. A dropshipper is nothing more than a middleman, a step along the way of a transaction that is an empty markup. Remember, because you are selling someone else's products, there are going to be hundreds, if not thousands of other retailers selling your exact same products. You're not going to be competitive on price, and you'll just blend in with the rest. This is why most dropshipping businesses do not last very long. It's fun and exciting to start because it's so cheap and easy. Heck, you might even generate some sales along the way, but it's definitely not a good long-term business model. Unless you can provide value to your customer that goes beyond just your products, your business isn't going to last very long. And the worst part is that you are dependent on someone else for the reputation of your business. All it takes is one bad supplier to ruin your entire operation. Now, a while back, my friend John Rampton ran a 7-figure dropshipping business on Amazon. He would create listings on Amazon, and when an order came in, one of his many suppliers would fill the order, and he just sat back and collected money. It was a multi-million-dollar business run by himself, and it seemed like he'd struck the holy grail of e-commerce. But then something terrible happened. One holiday season, his supplier shipped out hundreds of packages late, and Amazon decided to suspend his account. Now, he eventually got his account back, but a couple of months later, one of his other suppliers' inventory system had a bug, and he ended up selling hundreds of products that were out of stock. And this time, Amazon banned him for good. In just 24 hours, he lost everything. Now, so far in this video, everything that I've said about dropshipping has been negative, but dropshipping can be a great business model if done correctly. For example, Wayfair is one of the largest home goods companies in the US that is almost 100% dropshipped. Their main value add is that they offer a huge array of products across various categories. Their extensive catalog allows dropshippers to offer a wide range of products without holding inventory, appealing to a huge customer base. They also have strong relationships with a bunch of suppliers and run their own logistics and fulfillment as well. Now, on a smaller scale, my friend Andrew Udarian made his CB Radio dropshipping store successful by providing excellent customer support and making content guides about his products. His entire staff were experts on CBs, and he gained the trust of his customers by helping them over the phone. He also ranked on Google for most of the CB radio search terms. Now, if you want to start an e-commerce store and you don't have that much money to invest, the best way to proceed is to start out dropshipping in a niche that you are very familiar with. Curate the products that you sell very carefully, and then create content that attracts the type of customer that would buy your products. And then, once you start making some sales, pay attention to which products are selling well in your shop. Remember, dropshipping should never be your end goal, just the beginning. And once you know what sells, you should immediately private label your own version of that product and then sell it under your own brand. This way, your margins will go from 10 to 30% to 66 to 90%, and you'll make a lot more money per sale. Use dropshipping as a way to test different products that you might want to carry inventory for in your shop at very low risk. If something you list doesn't sell, no sweat. Just take it off and put something else up. But don't go into dropshipping thinking that it's going to make you a boatload of cash. Chances are you will never make life-changing money with dropshipping, but it can be a stepping stone to a much more profitable business. Now that you know the lies of dropshipping, make sure you watch this video here for all the little details about what it takes to run one, and I guarantee that you'll learn a ton.